Hello. Good afternoon, live with Dr. Mom. I'm going to get right to it. If you haven't been on here before, I'm a doctor of higher education. I started doing these vlogs, it's probably might have been 9 months ago, something like that. Um, as a challenge, I started with 90 videos, 90 days. Um, Somehow I got to where I was doing a moving forward challenge because I've moved forward in my life and I'm trying to sort of help others move forward in theirs. So long story short, I sold my house. I'm a widow, 6 years, sold my house, moved into an RV, traveling around, doing my videos. I have one series I just finished on flipping my house. Um, I have another series I'm doing on bodybuilding, which is only about 2 weeks away from competition, which is very frightening. Um, the third one is RV living, and then my moving forward series. So today, I'm going to get right to it. I've been doing Bible study on 52 women in the Bible. I feel like it helps to build a good, strong foundation for women. I mean, men can learn from this as well, but it's the 52 women of the Bible. And so I thought it was interesting. I am a Christian, although um, I'm not going to be judgmental. I am because it's helped me to move forward in my life. I had high levels of anxiety as a young woman and just did a lot of things that weren't right for me as a woman, a young mother, a young woman. And through learning about Christianity and things like that, my life's really come together. So that's where I'm at. So today, out of the 52 women of the Bible, it's a Bible study by Jean Siswerda. I am following it because it's easier to follow because I've been traveling. So I started thinking, what are you going to do when you finish this? I'm not sure, but I'm not going away. So I've made it. I hadn't made it for several weeks. This week I made it 4 days. So here we are. Today we're studying number 33. It's Esther, which oddly enough, or godly enough, our pastor at my son's church has went over Esther a couple of weeks ago, and so I sort of have it in the back of my mind anyway, and I really like the story. It was a pretty cool story, although the women of the Bible go through hard times, like with us. I mean, different kinds of hard times. So Esther, her name may derive from Ishtar, and the Babylon goddess of love, or from the Persian word from star. Her Hebrew name, Hadassah, means myrtle. I'm always kind of amazed at how people's names mean different things. Back in the day, their names meant different things. We don't seem to do that as much today. So, what was her character? She was an orphan in a foreign land. She displayed great courage in the midst of a crisis. Prior to risking her life for her people, she humbled herself by fasting and put her considerable beauty, social grace, and wisdom in the service of God's plan. So this is actually the book of Esther 1 through 10. Remember now, we've already went through where King David was king for a long time and he followed the will of God. But then his son, Solomon, although he was godly, started moving away from the will of God and he started worshiping idols and things like that. And so God went through in our last one, we studied about Hosea and Gomer was his wife, and how she was actually a prostitute. He was a prophet, and God sent to marry her and use an example out of their lives. So today, Esther, So I thought this was a pretty interesting story. Mordecai had a cousin named Esther, whom he had brought up because she had neither, so she was an orphan, neither father or mother. This girl was lovely in form and features, so she was beautiful in every way. Esther was taken to the king's palace and entrusted to the guy who had charge of the harem. So, if I remember right from the pastor talking about this one, the king, I believe, wanted a wife, and so he sent people out to bring women in from the land so he could choose from. So remember, she had no choice in it. So she was going to be, which I thought was interesting, in his harem. And when they're get pulled into that, they don't really have a choice. Their life is not really their own anymore. If the king chose them to be with him, they can never be with anyone else, and he may never be with them again. So, you know, we have it pretty good compared to that. Okay, so Esther was taken to the king's palace and entrusted to you guy who had charge of the harem. So she pleased him and won his favor. You know, we don't know why. Was it the beauty, her grace, her body? Who knows? Immediately he provided her with her beauty treatments. So also we studied that the beauty treatments could go for 6 months at a time and special food. So he assigned to her 7 maids selected from the king's palace and moved her and her maids into the best place in the harem. Now the king was attracted to Esther more than to any of the other women. So he set a royal crown on her head and made her queen. And if I remember the other story correctly, the king actually was married to another woman, and she displeased him in some way, and he got rid of her. Or, I don't know, she remained in his harem, but was taken from off the throne. Now the king was, okay, so Mordecai told, so Mordecai was Esther's cousin who was taking care of her. He told Hathach everything that had happened to him, including the exact amount of money Haman had promised to pay into the royal treasury for the destruction of the Jews. Okay, so Esther, first of all, was Jew, and so was Mordecai. And at this time, there was a man in the kingdom who wanted to eliminate the Jewish people. So it was kind of a dangerous place to be at that time. So he told Hathach to urge Esther to go into the king's presence to beg for mercy and plead with him for her people. So this man, who for some reason wanted to eliminate the Jews, had somehow asked the king to do a decree to get rid of all the Jews. And so Mordecai, which was her cousin, Esther's cousin, asked her to go and plead with him for their people. But remember, she had to do this knowing that the Jews were sort of the target, right? And Esther sent this reply to Mordecai: "Go gather together all the Jews who are in Susha and fast for me." So she knew to fast would hopefully earn favor with God, right? And to know what to do. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my maids will fast as you do. When this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law, and if I perish, I perish. So she has basically given her life for her people. Pretty brave woman, if you ask me. So Esther's life and times, the festive of Purim. When Haman, so it was Haman through the lot, or to discover what day would be the best day to annihilate the Jews in Xerxes' kingdom, he unwittingly established a festival called Purim. So it was Haman that wanted to get rid of all the Jews. But instead of annihilation, the Jews celebrated their deliverance during this time. So Esther and her cousin Mordecai jointly worked to overturn Haman's plot, and when they were successful, sent out a proclamation to all the Jews living in Xerxes' kingdom to celebrate annually the 14th and 15th days of the month of Adar as the time when the Jews got relief from their enemies, and as a month when their sorrow was turned into joy and their mourning into day of celebration. Adar 14 and 15. Adar was the last month in the Jewish calendar, our February, March. So the Jewish calendar is our February and March. Josephus, the first century Jewish general and historian, claimed that Jews all over the world celebrated the festive of Purim in his day, and it continues to be a popular festival for Jews today. Worship and fasting typically make up the first day of the festival. The entire book of Esther is read aloud, and the congregation responds with, "Let his name be blotted out," each time. Haman's name is read. The children in the group respond to Haman's name with noisemakers and rattlers. On the second day of the feast, rejoicing and celebration break out. Food, music, dramas, and plays, festival songs, the recitals all add to the festival. People give gifts to each other and also make sure they don't forget to give gifts and food to the poor, as that was a special wish of Mordecai. Like the Passover, the Feast of Purim celebrates divine deliverance. Saved from Pharaoh's rule and slavery in Egypt, delivered from the destruction planned by Haman. The Jews celebrated a deliverance that only God could have orchestrated. Previously doomed, they were now delivered. So it's a pretty interesting story, and I feel like she was definitely a hero, right, of the Jewish people. Wow. Could we do that? Could we be that brave? I don't know. That's pretty brave. Sorry, I'm trying to sign in here to get another piece of the story. Okay. So, Book of Esther, Book of the Hebrew Bible, and the Christian Old Testament, it belongs to the third section of the Judaic canon, known as Ketuvim, or writings, in the Jewish Bible. Esther follows Ecclesiastes and Lamentations and is read on the festival of Purim, which commemorates the rescue of the Jews from Haman's plotting. The Book of Esther is one of the Magillah 5 scrolls read on stated Jewish religious holidays. In the Protestant canon, Esther appears between Nehemiah and Job. In the Roman Catholic canon, Esther appears between Judah and Job, and includes 6 chapters that are considered apocryphal in the Jewish and Protestant tradition. Sorry. All right, my computer is not moving very fast. The book purports to explain how the Feast of Purim came to be celebrated by the Jews. Esther, the beautiful Jewish wife of the Persian king. So his name was Ahasuerus or Xerxes I, and her cousin Mordecai persuaded the king to retract an order for the general annihilation of Jews throughout the empire. The massacre has been plotted by the king's chief minister, Haman, and the date decided by casting lots, Purim. Instead, Haman was hanged on the gallows he built for Mordecai, and on the day planned for their annihilation, the Jews destroyed their enemies. Interesting, right? According to the Book of Esther, the Feast of Purim was established to celebrate that day, but this explanation is surely legendary. There is nothing close to a conscious consensus, however, as to what historical events provided the basis for the story. The book may have been composed as late as the first half of the 2nd century BCE, though the origin of Purim festival could date to the Babylonian exile. Okay, sorry, this computer is moving super slow. What's happening? The secular character in the Book of Esther, the divine name is never mentioned, and its strong nationalistic overtones made it a mission into the Bible canon highly questionable for both Jews and Christians. Apparently, in response to the conspicuous absence of any reference to God in the book, the redactors, editors of its Greek translation, and the Septuagint purpose many additional verses throughout the text that demonstrate Esther's and Mordecai's religious devotion. so-called additions to the Book of Esther do not appear in the Hebrew Bible, are treated as canonical in Roman Catholic Bible and are placed in the Apocrypha in the Protestant Bible. Okay, so we know she's a hero because she saved the Jews from annihilation. Let's see, so I'm going to do quotes about beautiful women, which is not always about their beauty. Um, I like this. A woman's beautiful face attracts a flirter. A woman's beautiful heart attracts a lover. A woman's beautiful character attracts a man. That's nice, isn't it? A happy woman's a beautiful woman. Beauty, the power by which a woman charms a lover and terrifies the husband. Um, every woman is beautiful. It just takes the right man to see it. Beauty is how you feel inside, and it reflects in your eyes. Well, okay. That's all I have today, guys. I got through day 4. Tomorrow is the women of Proverbs. Proverbs 31. That's a really good one. That's one of my favorite pieces is the woman of Proverbs 31. It basically goes through and explains on what a godly woman should be like, right? So it's a good one. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and sign off and say sayonara, my friends. Jamata, have a good day, be well, and much love.